What's good, Healing Family? Praying all is well with y'all today. Today has been a good day. Full of productivity, full of fun, full of laughter. And it made me realize that I need to tap into my inner child. There's a lot of things that we can get accustomed to when it comes to life. Just being busy, staying in the known, staying in the present, staying in the now, but not really being able to allow ourselves to have fun. And today I can thank my nephew for that because it reminded me that I really need to slow down and just enjoy the moments. Being present, being free, being carefree, and just having fun. Today we went on a walk and we went onto like this steep hill. And it was around like some type of different type of neighborhoods. You have the concrete pavement type of road in the middle, and then on each side you have trees, grass, dirt, and things of that nature. And we were just walking and talking, just catching up on life and really just figuring out like what is he focusing on at this young age. There's any type of interest he may have when it comes to himself, when it comes to his passion areas. But really, just along the path, I realized that we were just in tune with nature. The weather was nice. It was like 60, almost 65 degrees. The sun was still out. I think around like 5:30, 5:45, 6 o'clock, the sun was still out, and we were just walking. And I was going to record early. I was like, you know what, this might be a good time for me to record, just, to connect with my nephew and have different conversations. But I was like, nah, there's no need for that. Let's just remain present. We wasn't even on our phone, and we were just enjoying ourselves. And while we were walking, we were look at the different types of rocks, the trees, the grass, and just really just being present. And it felt good because I was just thinking, I was like, there's some things I really wanted to do. I wanted to record this video earlier in the day. I wanted to do some other things where I'm able just to get ahead of the week. I'm like, what's the point? Like, all that work is going to be there. But this moment, this time that I had with my nephew was very important because I think about it now, I don't remember like the last time I had intentional time with him. Besides just hanging out with him or just seeing him at church once in a while. But just for that moment, just in particular, I was able to, excuse me, just to remain present and just be on his flow of his energy, of his frequency, and just talking about anything, things that he's interested in, knowing about himself, life, school, the whole list of things, and it felt so good. And on a walk back down, I was like, wow, I was just thanking God. I was like, God, just thank you. And I was thanking God just because I was able to enjoy this time. Because again, I could have done something else, but I was blessed in order to have that amount of time with my nephew. And I thank God for that because when we were walking down, I told him, I was like, hey, like, I'm enjoying myself. I appreciate you sharing this time and moment with me. And I can tell that he really appreciated me, appreciating him being together in that moment. Like, we were together for like 3.5 hours, almost 4, just having fun, doing some other things as well. But I think what really had me tap into my inner child was when I may show the picture, we'll see. But there was this actual tree that was pretty much cut in half, or more than the half. And you were able to see like the inside and the middle of the tree. And I think it was so dope. And it felt just more like the texture of paper. And we were just thinking, like, I wonder if these type of trees are what they use to break down, go through the whole process and make paper out of it. And it felt just like paper. So we brought some of it back to my mother's house. And we were just like, you know what? Let's see if we can write a few things on it. So he wrote his name up there, wrote my name up there, that time and the date, just to have something to remember. And then there's like this little stream of water that's near my mother's house. We were just near the water, just having conversations. And we're just, throwing the little pieces of the paper from the tree in the water. And I forgot the name of the movie. I don't know if it's Stuart Little. And there was a few scenes in that movie where they were on these boats. And I was like, man, this makes me just think of the movie Stuart Little and how we can just, make little boats, create the boats ourselves and, compete in any boat competition in the future. But again, we were erasing each other's little pieces of wood or pieces of paper per se, and seeing how far it would go down the stream, who would beat who and whatnot. And I was like, yo, like this is actually really fun. Like we're running back and forth just to see, how far it would go. If it would get stuck or start all over, we would commentate. And in this moment, it started to get cold, and I started to complain. And I was like, hey, now you want to go back inside and we play some Uno or something? Let's go to let's go to outside. And then I felt in the moment, it's like, yo, there's no need to complain. He's enjoying himself. Let's just be in present. Let's have fun, and we can fight through this cold. Like, again, whenever we're gonna get this time to spend with our nephew, intentional time, bonding time, asking different questions, being in each other's atmosphere and environment, and not have any care about the world. And so I took a step back. I was like, God, just help me in the moment just to fight this cold. He had, mind you, it's like I forgot what time it was, but he had short sleeves on. I had a whole jean jacket on and a sweater underneath, and I was still cold. But nonetheless, we were just able just to stay outside the whole entire time. And I really do thank God for that moment because I had fun. And it made me realize that I need to continue to tap into my inner child. And so with that being said, I don't want to show the diagram because I don't want to get, things like copyright or whatever it's called. But I was going through this experience, a weekly experience where someone would just, provide a conversation on the hero's journey. And there's one thing that she talked about, and shout out to Jenna and Jade if I do see this, appreciate y'all, much love. But there was this chart that has the word play in the middle. And there's 4, if I can count, 3, 6, there's 8 different type of sections, that just focus just on the concept of play. And so I'll just break it down. The first one is music and arithmetic. If I pronounced that correctly, I probably didn't, but arithmetic. The body, social, words, logical math, nature, self, and art. And so it's all broken down to different things on what we can do to focus on when it comes to just playing in general. And so usually with one of my friends, I'm in this section when it comes to art. Like we do a good amount of this thing called like chat and color. Like we'll just FaceTime each other, color, and just have different conversations. And it's very, very, very intentional. It's compact with just so many other things, but at the same time, we're tapping into our inner child. She's at an expert level when it just comes to coloring in general. But for me, I stay in the lines though. I try to stay in the lines and just have fun. And I think today I would say it would fall under nature. A few examples it talks about, nature walk, sitting outside, filming or screensavers. When it comes on your phone, just, being in nature, looking at that, going outside, during lunchtime and things of that nature, and also being social. Like we were playing games, and I would consider that little piece of wood that was floating through the water as a form of a game. And so recording this and being with my nephew and looking at this chart just making me, making me hold myself accountable to have more fun and just to be a child, just to have fun, smile, laugh, whatever it may be, run if I need to, jump, whatever it may be in order for me just to have that inner child just to stir up again. And maybe that might be for you all as well. Like, think about it. Like, when was the last time you actually sat down and did something where you were able to feed your inner child? For me, it was always basketball. It was always playing outside. It was always chilling with friends, riding my bike, just doing anything where my inner child is happy. And thank God I've been blessed enough to have a good child life. Like I was able to be outside before the whole world of technology consumed, this current generation. I'm a millennial, and, being 30 and being able to be exposed to kind of more of the early introductory of technology, but not too much immersed into where I was disconnected from reality. So I was always outside playing, as I stated before. Yeah, but I'm just curious to hear from y'all. Like, where do you see yourself finding the need to tap into your inner child? Is it something where you're playing some card games, or playing tag, or going for a walk, or riding your bike, or whatever it may be? because we can get lost in this world when it comes to satisfying that inner child, and I thought about that too. Like, even for myself, there are some days where I'm just like, I don't feel like having fun. I just need to lock in on these things. We have things we want to aspire to do. We still have some things we need to prune from. We still need some things that need to be in more alignment. And I'm always just thinking about, the end times, and not knowing when this world will just, transition forward, and, God will make my way to heaven. And it's not me loving this world, but just making sure that I'm able to live a full life before, Jesus comes, and, when the real life begins, the eternity begins. And so I think this is more of an area of self-reflection to help us understand that, okay, we can get the work done. We're here for a certain amount of time. We can lock in, get it focused, but we don't want to be so removed from the reality of love, of family, of friends, of nature, of community, soaking in the vitamin D, touching the ocean waters. I know some ocean waters may not be that clean based on the environment, ecosystem that you're around, but just in general, just feeling the feels and just being present. And so hopefully, in the area that you live in is getting warmer. Hopefully you're able to have better weather. Find that moment just to go for a walk, sit in the sun, touch the sand, touch the water, put your feet on the ground, ride that bike, play the card game, play tag, hide and seek, whatever it is for you, just to stir up and to love more on your inner child. Because, man, it can be rough sometimes if you're always on the go, go, go when it comes to doing and doing the work and focusing on the bills that you got to pay. And not saying that all those things are not important, but you are important as well. The younger you, the younger version of you, they needed to awaken. And I'm not going to say I'm going to make it my mission, that we should make it our mission, but it should be some form of a daily, a weekly, or monthly activity where you're able to tap into your inner child. And I think that's where the true form of self is formed. Because, there's a lot of things that we are accustomed to, a lot of things that we dealt with when it comes to any trauma or triggers at a younger age. And then we realize that the world that we felt safe, the people that we felt safe around, the places, the experiences that we felt safe around isn't the same anymore. And then we change our perspective on how we want to move, and then we close ourselves up and have a whole shield to protect our own mental, emotional, spiritual well-being. At the same time, we're not allowing ourselves to have that fun, have that freedom that we have access to. And again, just depending on your circumstances and the privilege and the opportunities you have around you, but we can always have fun in any type of way. It doesn't need to cost money. Outside is free. When I mean by outside, I mean nature. Not the outside that people may be thinking, but, going outside is costly. Or doesn't cost, yeah, costly. It doesn't cost anything at all. But try to enjoy. Try to enjoy those small moments. Because when I was with my nephew, I could have easily put out my phone, texting and stuff like that. We took a picture on a rock. He took a picture. We took a selfie, and I was like, man, first I really take photos of myself anyways. I'm like, yo, when can I even get this moment back? Never. We're here today, and we could be gone tomorrow. And not trying to jinx anything or put anything out in the environment, but you never know. And it made me just realize, like, yo, what is life really about? Not just from a spiritual perspective, physical, and I go down the whole line: emotional, mental, financial, social, occupational, intellectual, and environmental. Like, what? And I'm just saying those things as a component of focusing on us holistically, but just realizing, what is life really about? And yes, I know that when it comes to the main thing, we're here put on this earth for a purpose, to serve God's will, to be more conformed to the image of Jesus Christ, and to do the things we're called to do. But at the same time, we have the freedom, we have the access, we have the enjoyment. But with all these distractions, all these things that's happening around the world, happening in our own lives, happening with your viewpoint based on the person you see in the mirror, happening through familial connections, whatever it may be. It's just like we can just get consumed. Like the overconsumption is real. So we have to make sure we find moments in time to have fun. As we know, healing is fun. And healing is finding you now in the season that you're in. Maybe you might need to tap into that inner child. Maybe you might need to look from a different perspective. But as we transition to this week, today is Tuesday. As we transition to this week, how would you like to envision you tapping into your inner child? I'm not going to put any limits or any category on anything, but how would you personally like to tap into the inner child? What did you enjoy when you were younger? I know a selection of things I used to like doing. Outside, listening to music, putting things together, making beats. And I still do all those things here and there, but enough for me. But what about you? What are some things that you enjoy doing? So you can continue to stir up the inner you, feed the inner you, and then just give more joy, more love, more fun, more laughter into your soul. So yeah, let me know in the comments. I know this video is a little bit longer, but let me know in the comments what y'all think on where you would like to experience next when it comes to your inner child. What does that envision? What do you envision for that to look like? It can be a small moment. It doesn't have to be anything large. It can be a board game, card game. Who knows? Might be like Sudoku or Connect Four or battleships or, again, anything that can be in nature. But what do you need to do, or what would you like to do in order to feed your inner child? I want to thank y'all very much just for your time, for watching this video, and I pray that y'all have a blessed week. Peace.